Hey everybody out there, it's Ron. I'm back from vacation. We had a great time in Aruba and really got some good relaxation, but it's back to the grind here. So I want to give you an update on where I am with my Executone amp. You'll see that I've essentially removed the wires from the sockets, and I did that for a reason. As I said, I turned it on and I was getting some hum, and I thought about it, and I did flip this board around like I said I would. So I've got some very short leads here now which go to the input jacks. But there's one other thing about this that I really don't like, and that is the fact that this socket, which is a 6SC7, is too close to the board. And the reason why I don't like that is because any interference, you know that there's going to be some interference between this tube socket and this board. And there's really nowhere else for me to mount this board. So I have to make a command decision. So what I decided I'm going to do is this output transformer right here. I'm going to take it out, okay, and I'm going to remove this socket, and I'm going to simply move the socket right here. So basically, I'm going to have all my tubes in a line. So there's my rectifier tube right here, all my power tubes, and then these are going to be my output tubes right over here. And that will allow me to take this board and move it over here. So let me pull back a little bit. So what I'm anticipating is that the board will go right around here and probably end right here, and that will allow me to center it in the cabinet, and then I'll have very short distances between the board and these sockets. The other reason why I'm doing it is the connections that go to these two tubes right here are actually right here on this side of the board, and it's just too far away. So I would have to run wires all the way here, crossing power leads, and just a little bit sloppy. So the way I'm going to do that is with something called a step bit. So let me show you what that looks like. And then when I talk about what I'm going to do by moving this tube socket, because there's no hole right here. Hold on.
Optimized for cordless drills in high speed from Milwaukee. Made in the USA, these bits feature the Rapid Strike tip, a smooth cutting two-flute design, and black oxide coating to deliver jam-free performance with up to 2 times faster starts, up to 4 times more life, and up to 50% more holes per charge.
What's good about the Milwaukee step bit is you can put it in your cordless drills and keep it on high speed the way the bit is designed. It cuts through smooth through the metal each step. You know, other brands, they bind up. You might have to put it in low gear to finish it through the hole. This one here, we can keep it on high speed. Nice, consistent, smooth hole all the way through.
When you're just starting a new hole in a piece of metal, the tip always wants to walk around a little bit. This Milwaukee, as you can see at the end, it's almost like a drill bit. It's got a good point on it, so it stays where you put it, just like a drill bit would. And once it pierces the metal, it starts eating from there. It stays in its spot. And
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do on the chassis. I have 1-inch holes for my tube sockets. Let's go back over here. So basically, I'm going to use that step bit. I'm going to find the right location, which is going to be right about here, I think, somewhere in this area. And I'm going to drill that hole out. I'm going to move this socket over here, and that will allow me to place the board in this general area. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to solve that problem. And then the output transformer is really no big deal. I can move that anywhere. I'll probably end up moving it somewhere around here towards the front of the amp. But I'll figure that out later. That's not a big deal. It's just an output transformer. I also want to show you what the faceplate looks like. Remember I told you I designed a faceplate and had it made? So this is what it's going to look like. And you see they've still got the protective paper on it. But I've got my lamp, my instrument volume, my tone, my mic volume, my instrument input 1, 2, and then a microphone. And I have this nice little graphic that says Fender Deluxe. And that's going to go right on the front here with all the knobs. It's going to mount here real nice. But yeah, we're not ready to do that part yet. So that's where we are with this project. The step bit will be here tomorrow, and I'll plan it out and make sure that I show you how that looks when I start to do the work. I think this metal is fairly easy to drill through. When I'm drilling holes in here for other parts of the amp, I didn't have any issue with drilling through it with just a standard bit. So I think it'll go relatively smoothly here. I think this is it's not aluminum, but it's really not that thick, as you can see here. So it's pretty easy to cut through. So that's where I am. All right, so move this tube socket from here to here. Move this board right in this area. Shorten up all these wires that go to these sockets. That's the objective. and keep the wires nice and short. That's where I am. I'll come back to you when I have my next update. It's really good to be back. If any of you have never been to Aruba, you should really check it out. It's a really, really nice place. It's the kind of place where it's, 85 degrees every day. The wind's blowing 20 miles an hour every day, and you could sit outside the entire day and just have a grand time. So that's where I just came from. Now it's back to work and back to my hobby. Actually, I thought about doing all this while I was in Aruba. I was puzzled by how I was going to solve this problem with these long wires going to these tubes from here. And I thought about it in my head and said, hey, if I just move by one socket over here, that frees up this whole area here for me to move the board to. So I actually thought about that while I was away. Alright, well, that's it for this video. I'll come back to you when there's an update. And thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, when I make this hole, I have to use some kind of cutting oil. I have some 3-in-1 right here, which I'll use just to lubricate the metal while I'm cutting it. What I don't want to do is I don't want the bit to burn the metal, right? So I was going to use cutting oil. All right, that's it. This is Ron. Thanks for watching. Bye.